As watchmakers, magnetism is really not our friend, especially when it makes your screwdrivers start behaving like that. I'm going to put these 3 demagnetizers through their paces, so stick around and see what happens. Hi, my name's Bob Walder. There are few things more frustrating than getting partway through a watch service and finding that your screwdriver starts picking things up all on its own. It's bad enough if your tools get magnetized, but if the watch movement itself becomes magnetized, that's an even bigger problem. The coils of the hairspring will start to stick together, your amplitude is all over the place, and any regulation, any attempt at regulation will fail. One piece of advice worth following is to demagnetize the watch movement before and after the service. That should certainly help. Also, think about demagnetizing your tools on a regular basis, at least your screwdrivers. The tweezers, most of them are anti-magnetic, so they shouldn't be a problem, but a lot of screwdrivers have steel tips, and they can start to be a real pain midway through a service if they start doing that. Right? I think most people start off with the little $15, $10 blue puck from Amazon. And while it can work, if you do it right, I tend to find I need to do typically 2 or 3 passes, and if you're not careful, you could actually end up magnetizing the very object you're trying to demagnetize. But we'll have a look at that and how we get on with it. The other type of demagnetizer is this one. Now this is an older one, but they sell these on Amazon and AliExpress. They're pretty cheap. This is great for magnetizing, but it's also a pretty good demagnetizer too. So I figured I'd throw this one into the mix since it's so cheap. Then at the end of the day, the one I really wanted to test was this one from AliExpress. This one costs $75, but the beauty of it for me is it's both a magnetism meter as well as a demagnetizer. So that saves me having to spin up my Apple Watch with the demagnetize program. It's just a good all-in-one solution, providing it works. So this is going to be a pretty simple test. I have an easily magnetizable steel object. I'm going to magnetize it using this. Then I'm going to measure it using an app on my iPhone, and also measure it on this device. So as you can see, I actually had to move the iPhone off of the desk because I ran through the first round of testings, and you could see the meter react each time one of these was activated, and it was reading way too high and way too erratically all the time. So I put that somewhere else and recalibrated it, and we'll start from here. Here we go. We start off with this, not magnetized. We're going to use this beast to magnetize it. That's great. My monitor just went off when I activated that. This thing is mean. Okay, there we can see we have pretty high levels of magnetism showing. I have no idea what these circles actually mean, if anything. All I know is the more magnetic something is, the bigger these circles get. And if there's just traces of magnetism, you just see random specks around the screen. So not a very precise reading, but what I've come to realize is if this shows nothing at all, even if there's trace magnetism left, it's not enough to interrupt your work. Not like that. Okay, so we're going to start off with the puck, which I hate, but here we go. Going to do my best with it. Draw it up slowly. Now, if anyone is watching this and decides I'm doing this all wrong, please drop me a comment. Please let me know. Would love to hear if you're relying on one of these and testing the results and actually getting it to work. I would love to hear. So we put that on. As you can see, it has done a job. It's just not done all the job. So let's try it again. See if we can get that down to nothing. And slowly catchy monkey, and we'll try again. Yeah, no, it's not gonna do it. And this is basically what I found with these things. I cannot get them to work. If you can, your mileage may vary, and if you do have one of these working, more power to you. I don't have the patience, and I can't rely on it. That's the bottom line. So this one is going in the trash. So we'll move on to this, and you've seen this is what I've been magnetizing everything with. It's a vintage L&R demagnetizer. There are modern versions of these knocking around on Amazon and AliExpress. They're only like $10–15, so I do worry that they're actually no better than this puck. If any of you have one of those, please drop me a comment and let me know if they work as good as this one. Let me know how you get on with those. This is pretty easy to run. Let's magnetize it. It's also a great magnetizer, so it says dual purpose. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, so it works in a similar way to the puck, that you're basically trying to align the magnetic field by starting off right in the field, activating it, and drawing it slowly away. And give it one more pass, since we did that with the puck. Okay. Well, no reading, so that looks promising. Let's go try it on the iPhone. So here's the iPhone reading, and as you can see, it's done a really good job. I mean, that's way back down at just background magnetization. Certainly not enough to worry us working on watches. So the L&R is a win. That has done a really good job as far as I'm concerned. So one of these plus the iPhone free app would be a pretty good combination. And for me, I don't really want to have to set the iPhone up each time. I am A, lazy, and B, I'm a little constrained for space overall. So I don't know how I would be able to set the iPhone up anywhere close to me without it being affected by magnetic fields. So I would have to set it up across the room like I've done this time. And for me, that's just not a good workflow. So yeah, this is effective. If this is all I have, I'd be very happy with it, honestly. But I prefer the convenience of this solution, but only if it works. Okay, so we have nothing there, and we're going to magnetize that again. Prove we can't work on a watch with that. I can't even knock these off. That's pretty strong. And there's a great reading. So all you do on this is basically place it on the target and hit the on button, and you get 5 pulses, and then I turn it 90 degrees and do it again. And I count that as one pass. So we did 2 passes on each of these. I count that as one pass on this one. Let's see how it's done. So using its own measurement device, it's done a good enough job. Certainly all traces of the magnetism have gone here. Let's go try the iPhone. Okay, so borderline, not anywhere near as good as the L&R. Probably okay for working on watches, or if this was a watch that we demagnetize, it's probably okay. So that's after one pass. And if we're going to test it the same, it needs to do two. One of the other things that intrigues me is the way it shows on the screen this diagonal layout. So I'm actually going to try it diagonally and turn it 90 degrees. And 90 degrees. Okay, that's pass number 2. No reading there. Let's go try the iPhone again. So here we are at the iPhone, and it's not getting there. It's very disappointing. So that's a really disappointing result. I mean, there is no apparent magnetism. There is a slight reading. I missed that, the little dot. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. There's a little dot right in the middle of that screen, so it's telling me that there's still magnetism there. Let me try again. Because I'm okay running this through multiple passes, providing the detector is accurate enough to pick up if there's residual magnetism. So this time I see no dots on there. So this time, although it's taken 3 passes, I'm hoping this time it's better. So let's go check on the iPhone. Okay, so better. It's within, it's pretty borderline, but I would say that's workable. But it's still not $75 worth of workable. Would I spend this again? I don't think I would. Honestly, I think this plus the iPhone for my meter is good enough. I don't have to demagnetize something that often. So I would prefer to use this. Now, if you don't have this vintage one and you find that the Amazon, AliExpress, Chinese models that look like this, if they don't work, then this is certainly, you know, it comes back into the running at that point. Again, I like the convenience of the detector, and it does an okay job. Let's try one more time and see if it gets there on 4 passes. You shouldn't have to do it this many times, obviously, because that showed nothing last time. Let's look at the iPhone. Okay, so there it was well within the right range. So 4 passes, yeah, I don't know. This may still be the one that that I use just for convenience sake, but I don't know that I would go out and spend $75 on this if you have another workable solution. Let's just, for giggles, demagnetize with this one more time, since we gave him multiple chances. Okay, so he's not done any better. That's interesting. Makes me wonder just how badly magnetized this thing is. But at the end of the day, again, it's not magnetic enough to affect your working. And if this was a watch we were doing, again, we'd be looking at that hairspring each time we demagnetize, and once those coils separate and it starts to run properly again, that's good enough. If it's still high end of the green on the iPhone, I'm okay with that. So there you have it. If something is really badly magnetized, I guess run multiple passes. But I think once this detector shows nothing and you're not affecting a compass or picking up screws, then I think you can call it done. Well, there you go. Like I say, I'm not sure I would pay $75 again for this, so you might not want to. Try one of these. I definitely don't like these things. I just don't think they work. Your mileage may vary. Try one of this design and let me know how it works. As usual, I'll leave links to all of the products I mentioned in this video down in the description below. I'm not sponsored in any way. I pay for these all with my own money. I don't even have an Amazon affiliates link, so all the opinions in here are 100% my own. If this is the kind of content you like and you'd like to see more of it, please consider liking, subscribing. This is a new channel, so anything you can do will help me out immensely. Hopefully you'll join me for my video coming soon, which is my very first watch repair. I have finished filming. I'm just in the middle of a huge editing project on that, so please come back and join me on that one. And until then, goodbye.